Okay, I think we are live. So, hi everybody, welcome to. Right. I think we're live on Instagram and Facebook. Welcome everybody to this week's Menopause Matters Live. And today I am going to be talking about the industry BS when it comes to menopause and weight loss. Well, weight in general, actually, not just menopause, but obviously this is going to be specific to menopause. So, first off, if you're new to me, welcome. I am Vanessa. I am the menopause specialist, and I focus on helping women whose bodies are slowing down, whether that's inability to lose weight, loss of energy, low moods, brain fog, basically the body slowing down. That is really where I specialize in the menopause space. If you are new to following me, make sure that you like and share this post wherever you're watching it, whether it's on Instagram, on Facebook, or YouTube. And if you are just jumping on and you're not following me, then please do, because I do these every week and I share lots of other information as well, quite different to what other people share in the menopause space. So let's get started. So I'm quite passionate about this topic, and the reason being that I have been working with women in the menopause space for the last 7 years, or sorry, I've working with women for the last 7 years, and over the last 5 years, I've been really specializing in the menopause space. And the reason that I'm passionate about it is because there is so much BS when it comes to the weight loss industry, and so many women who are being um, given a disservice, quite frankly, by the weight loss industry. Um, it is a very, very lucrative industry, as you can imagine. And I don't believe that everybody is particularly scrupulous when it comes to weight loss. There are certain companies that really play on the fact that you have to keep on going and going and going. Ultimately, my approach to weight loss is I want to teach you the right way to nourish your body so that it feels safe and capable of losing weight, and that it's sustainable and long term. I don't want clients for life. If I have a client for life, like Weight Watchers or Slimming World, then I have failed abysmally. So just think about that. The whole weight loss industry, big companies like Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Cambridge Diet, etc., they're not there to for you to get your results and then leave. They're there for you to stay with them for a long time, and that says a lot about those kinds of companies. So let's dive into some of the others and dispel some of the myths for you, because it's not just the likes of Weight Watchers and Slimming World, but there's many, many others. So first off, let's talk about the fad diets. There's other things I want to talk about, but let's talk about the fad diets. They promise rapid weight loss. They always eliminate something, whether they're eliminating fats or they're eliminating calories or they're eliminating carbohydrates. They're always eliminating something. So some examples, the Atkins diet. I don't know if any of you remember the Atkins diet. It was very popular probably, gosh, maybe 15, 20 years ago. I don't really remember, but it was quite a long time ago. And the Atkins diet was high protein and no carbohydrates. And people got quite, I mean, you got quick results, but not very pleasant side effects. Then you've got something similar but different. You've got keto. Keto is high fat and very low carb. So rather than the high protein, it's high fats. You've got things like the juice cleanse. I'm just juicing, doing a juice for a week. You may lose a lot of water weight. I do not think juicing alone for any length of time for weight loss is a good idea at all. Raw food diets, again, not sustainable. Yes, you can do them occasionally, and eating raw food occasionally is good, but doing a diet and continuing it's just not going to be sustainable. The alkaline diet, it's got its pros, but it's also got its cons. It's very difficult to follow. Master cleanse. Do you remember this one? I remember this when I was a kid. I remember my mum doing it. I didn't know that they've revamped it and brought it back with a new name. I can't remember what we called it, but basically it was lemon juice, maple syrup and cayenne pepper with water, and you drank it, and that's all you had for about 3 days, 3 days, and then you started to introduce food again. I mean, I don't need to explain why that's not a good idea when it comes to weight loss. But I do remember my mum doing it. And then I've talked about Weight Watchers, the whole points system for foods. It doesn't work, because the foods that they're promoting with low points aren't necessarily the foods that are going to help you to sustainably lose weight. And they focus on low calorie as well, so portion control, but actually most women are not having anywhere near enough calories to actually allow the body to lose weight on a long-term basis. Slimming World is free foods and sins, very similar. Don't like it at all. And as I said at the beginning, it's why it's such a lucrative business. Then you've got things like new ones, like the carnivore diet has become very popular, just eating animal products, and no plants at all. Yes, you can get rapid weight loss. I know that people do, but is that a good way to be living? Is that, what about all the benefits of plant foods, the phytonutrients, the fiber, and everything else that comes with plant foods? Cutting them out long term is not going to be a good idea. And even short term, I don't think it's very good. I can't imagine what the constipation must be like for some people with that diet. And then things like the Cambridge diet, meal replacement, very low calories. You may see fast, rapid weight loss, quick results, but these diets are all unsustainable and they will lead to weight rebounding, because the body will fight back and then you gain body fat back. Often you've lost lean tissue, so muscle, which burns more calories. And then when you gain it back, you're gaining back fat. And this is why it's this vicious cycle that happens over and over again. And there's no scientific backing to these. And as I said, they lead to weight rebounding. So really not a good idea. And then we have got things like the magic pills and supplements. So some of them claim to melt fat away effortlessly, I think, is some of the marketing that goes with them. There's no scientific evidence to back these, and they can be extremely harmful to health. There's a new one on the market which does have to be prescribed, but I do know women who have been given it, called Ozempic. You may have come across it. Is a very worrying trend. It was supposed to be just used for diabetics, not for weight loss, but there are some doctors who are actually prescribing it for obesity and weight loss. The risks and side effects are not nice, things like nausea and vomiting, diarrhea and constipation. But the extremes and much more dangerous are things like pancreatitis and even kidney problems. I don't know whether you've seen anything about Sharon Osbourne recently. She did Big Brother, I believe, not something I watch, but she has lost a huge amount of weight, and she came clean about it and said she had actually done Ozempic, and now she's lost too much and she can't gain it again. Goodness knows what damage it's done to her metabolism. I don't really know much about it, but it cannot be a good idea. There is no quick fix to weight loss, unfortunately. And then we've got things like detox teas and cleanses. They claim to rid the body of toxins, promote weight loss, and let's remember the body has its own natural detox system, right? The liver and the kidneys and the digestive tract are all there to detox. We don't need to add things in to get the body to detox. It will naturally do that if it has the right tools to do so. Any weight loss is usually water weight when it comes to these things, and will rebound once you start eating normally again. These products provide no real benefit for long-term sustainable weight loss, so I don't promote those. Then we've got low-fat diet foods. Now, this is an old one, and it's a lot of people now know that low fat is not a good idea, but I still do come across women who still even now are afraid of eating fats. This came about back in the 80s and 90s. There was a false narrative, came out of something in the US to do with the cardiovascular disease. And there was a false link made between dietary fats, all dietary fats, and cardiovascular disease and obesity. The food industry saw a massive opportunity and they responded with huge numbers of low-fat food. So they started taking the fats out of yogurts and cheese and all sorts of things. Huge marketing budgets behind these campaigns, and this became a massive thing. And with the decrease in fats in food, increased the rates of obesity, and it's not surprising. These products are often loaded with sugar and artificial ingredients to give them some flavor because they are completely tasteless without fats. Fats should not be avoided. What we should be doing is focusing on the type and the quality, and of course the quantity of fats that we are consuming. We don't want to be just, eating huge amounts of fats, but we want to be eating the right amounts when we do eat it. We should not be avoiding fats. Hormones require fats for production. So imagine what happens to your hormones if you start cutting out fats out of your diet. And then finally, the exercise link. So this whole thing around burning calories to lose weight. Exercise alone cannot lead to weight loss. You have to have the nutrition, the calorie, the right calorie intake, and blood sugar, which I'll come on to, blood sugar control. Exercise, pounding the treadmill, going for long cardio runs, is actually very counterproductive to weight loss, especially for women who are already perhaps stressed. It's extra stress on the body and it slows down weight loss, doesn't speed it up. If you've been trying to burn more calories and yet you're not losing any weight, there's a very good reason, and it's not going to work. If it's not working now, it's not going to work. That's not to say that exercise isn't important for weight control, and movement is important for so many things, but trying to burn off your calories is not the answer. Cardio is definitely not the most effective way to burn calories anyway. What's much more effective is building lean muscle, which, as I said earlier, burns more calories anyway. And doing things like, if you want to use exercise, doing things like high intensity interval training, lifting weights, those kinds of things are going to be much more beneficial for weight loss alongside what you're eating and how you're kind of focusing on other aspects of your health rather than trying to do it through exercise alone, because it just won't work. Okay, so we've talked about what doesn't work. I've talked about some of the BS in the industry. What does work? So I do not believe in any diets whatsoever. I am not a diet fan. Anything that comes with the diet label, for me, is a big no-no. Rather than focusing on weight loss, we've got to focus on how our bodies actually work and the health side of that as well. If we want to sustainably and long-term lose body fat, the first step has to be a focus on your blood glucose and your insulin. Choosing foods that promote stable blood sugar throughout the day and eating a slight calorie deficit. So, of course, you can't eat too many calories to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, you've got to be in a calorie deficit of some sort. Otherwise, it's not going to happen, even with the healthiest of diets. But it's a lot easier to do when you're eating a healthy diet. Choosing foods that promote that stable blood sugar is the answer. It's super important for menopausal women. Why? Because we are much more prone to imbalance due to changing hormones. When our hormones start to change during the perimenopause and menopause, you're not imagining it when you see that your metabolism slows down, belly fat starts to increase, because we are much more prone to something called insulin resistance, which is where the cells that require insulin to take glucose out of the blood and into the cells no longer respond to the insulin. So we start to get something called insulin resistance. And it's a lot harder to measure. You can't get that tested on the NHS, your insulin levels. You only get tested your blood sugar. And actually, we really should be looking at both, but that's a whole different story. But 1 in 2 women are predicted to become insulin resistant to some degree after menopause. It is a huge problem. Blood sugar is a massive problem. And it, for me, is the biggest reason why women are struggling with their weight. But it's not just about the weight. It's also about how we're feeling. It's about our energy. It's about our overall health. We can't get overall good health if we don't balance our blood sugar. But it will be almost impossible to lose weight, and especially belly fat, if you are insulin resistant or you have got uncontrolled blood glucose. So, as I said, the approach is not a diet. It's the way everybody should be eating, not just postmenopausal women or perimenopausal women, but everybody. This should be taught at school, but it's not. It doesn't cut out any food groups. That's what I love about it, because it's not a diet. It is a way of eating. You're not cutting out carbs. You're not cutting out fats. You're not cutting out proteins. What you are doing is focusing on the right types, the right amounts, and eating in that way. And when you do that, you will have enough energy. Your body, your metabolism will speed up. You will feel better. You'll have more energy. You will sleep better, and the weight starts to come off. As long as there's nothing else blocking it. There are lots of factors that can affect and block fat loss, but this is by far and away the most important one for everybody. And the reason I like it also is because it's flexible. You can make it work for whatever your taste, whatever your diet, whatever your culinary choices. It doesn't matter if you're Indian and you have an Indian type of diet, or whatever cuisine you like. You can make it work as long as you fall within the principles and you follow those principles. It's a long-term approach. It's not a short-term fix. It's not going to, you're not just going to do it for a month. This is changing the way that you approach food when you eat at home and when you eat out. And because it's based on principles, it's very easy to follow no matter where you are and what you're doing, because you just make better choices. And the good thing is you don't have to do it 100% of the time. It does allow you to have the odd cake or glass of wine or whatever, or bar of chocolate, whatever it is that you want, as long as you're following it the majority of the time. And when you start doing it and you feel so much better, most people will just continue to follow it because they do notice the difference, and they really then feel the difference when they start to eat the rubbish again. So that is today's live, all about the BS in the weight loss industry. It is very annoying. And, if you have been following diets and finding that they're not working, that's why. It's just not going to be a sustainable long-term approach. If anybody hasn't already got my free guide called the Belly Buster Guide, all you need to do is comment wherever you're watching this, or if you've got this on an email, reply to the email and ask for the guide. Just make sure you let me know which one, because I've got a few guides, and I will make sure to get you a copy. And just a heads up, I have a program called the Belly Buster Method, and it's a short course that you self-paced, that you do yourself. It is available right now, but heads up, next weekend, so not this coming weekend. I don't know what the dates are actually. I'm trying to think, where are we today? We're the 4th, so 6th, 7th. So it's not this weekend, the 6th, 7th, so it must be what, the 12th, 13th, from Friday evening until Sunday evening, from 6 p.m. till 6 p.m. I am going to be running a flash sale. It's my birthday month, and so I wanted to give something at a reduced price, and so this is what I'm going to be offering. It's the belly buster method. It's going to be a flash sale, a big percentage off. So if you are interested, the link to the program is on the guide. And so you can have a look and see what's involved. And then if you want to get it, wait until next weekend and you'll be able to get it with the discount code that I'm going to be sharing. I will be sending out more info on it next week, so look out for that. Any questions, please do ask. If anything has come up from today that you're not sure about, just ask in the comments or message me and I will happily answer. All right, I will leave it there. Have a great day. Take care and bye for now.